And welcome back. We are live at the State B tournaments here, wall-to-wall coverage here all day long for the State B tournaments. Tonight, the Reardon girls continue their run at a second straight B title in the 2Bs.
Yeah, but that one just getting over today. They just defeated Adna 74-37. We'll have, of course, highlights of that game coming up tonight at 6. But let's get to the early games today, as we've had a whole lot of action here at the arena. 2B consolation bracket, Bear Creek taking on Riverside Christian. Third quarter, Bear Creek down. Kendall Eagleston drives and lays it in and gets the call as well. Grizzlies 29-22. She had 4 points. Later in the quarter, Kendra Staymates hits a long two just inside the arc for Riverside. It's 31-22 Riverside. She finished with a team high 12 points. Crusaders win 45-35.
All right, Tacoma Baptist and PL playing for a shot at a trophy earlier today. First quarter, PL out to the early 4-point lead. Let's make it 6. Kayla Caps with the jumper. 10-4 Trojans. More of the same in the second for Miss Caps. She'll cap a 3. PL winning in a blowout, 45-25. They'll face Riverside Christian in the 4th place game tomorrow morning.
All right, in just a couple of hours, Colton takes on Elmira Cooley Heartline with hopes of grabbing their 4th straight title.
Meanwhile, Columbia Hunters coming off back-to-back 3rd place finishes at state. They will take on Sunnyside Christian tonight at 9 p.m. in that other semifinal.
All right, but let's get to these highlights. But first, the 1B consolation bracket. First up, Nia Bay taking on Lopez. First quarter action of this one. Lopez down. Marina Steinbruck with a tough crowded shot off the backhand. It's 12-8 Nia Bay. A few possessions later, Sierra Moss hits a 3-ball for Nia Bay, and they go on to win 85-50.
Northwest Yeshiva taking on Cusick earlier this afternoon, late in the second quarter. 6-13s trying to stay in it. Grace Almo on the lane, still down 38-22. Cusick answers right back. Andrea Heinen leading the Panther charge. Game high 25 in this one. Cusick winning 73-45. All right, one game just going final behind us a few moments ago. Valley Christian in the 1B boys semifinals beating Nia Bay 59-54. They are headed to tomorrow's state championship game.
At the bottom of the hour, ACH tipping off against Kingsway Christian. They hope to grab that other spot in the 1B title game. But the consolation bracket here in 1B action. We got Sunnyside Christian taking on Mount Rainier Lutheran. Mount Rainier down by 15 early on. Hawks trying to cut that deficit with a 3-ball here. It's 23-18 Sunnyside Christian. Third quarter now, Sunnyside Christian keeping their distance. Trevor Wagner drives and banks it in. It's 27-22 Knights. Wagner with a game high 20 points. Sunnyside Christian wins 46-39.
All right, 1B consolation, Moses Lake Christian taking on Muckleshoot. First quarter, Moses Lake Christian with the early lead. Thomas Knopp with the putback off the miss. He had 5-2 ball game early on. Later in the first, another big day out there for Jim Timofeyev. The steal, the finish on the other end. He had 25 on the ball game, but Muckleshoot would rally back. Buddy Brendable off the loose ball. Muckleshoot winning 67-57. They'll face Sunnyside in tomorrow's 4th place game.
All right, 2B action now. The Northwest Christian boys looking for their 5th title in 6 years. Meanwhile, the Colfax Bulldogs looking for their first title, well, since 1947. We got a whole lot of action for you tonight on SWX. Coming up tonight, we'll be carrying both of those 2B boys basketball games. Again, live on SWX. The Bulldogs tip off first against Toutle Lake at 7:15, followed by the Adna Northwest Christian game at 9 p.m.
All right, 2B consolation bracket, more highlights. Dayton trying to bounce back from a first-round loss against Toutle Lake, taking on LaConner. First quarter, Garrett Turner for 2 of his 16, Dayton trailing 12-6. Next possession for LaConner now. Landy James banks in the turnaround. He had a game high 17. Let's go now. Final minute of regulation, tie ball game. This is Hayden Fullerton. This might be the shot of a lifetime for him. Dayton wins it 39-37.
And Wahkiakum and Lake Roosevelt also in the consolation bracket. I've heard about this one all day long. Good game here. Final minute of the game. Lake Roosevelt down 1. Lee Williams works his way to the rim, lays it in to put the Raiders up by 1 point. Next possession, Wahkiakum takes the lead right back, and that's Lars Blix from 3-point land to go up 58-56. Blix had 8 on the night. The Mules go on to win 65-60 thanks to that game high 19 points by Wyatt Parker.
All right, now that we've got you caught up on all the state Bs, we're going to take you over to Tacoma when we come back. State 4As and 3A tournaments.
How about Las Vegas? We'll check in from there as well from the WCC tournament.
And welcome back to our continuing live coverage here at the State B tournaments on SWX and KHQ at Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. 4A and 3A very well represented right now by two Spokane Valley schools, Central Valley and U-High. All four of their teams have reached today's semifinals.
That's right. The CV boys just one win away from the state title game. That game against Union at 9 p.m. Again, that's tonight at 9 p.m. Of course, we'll have highlights of that one later tonight.
Well, who's going on to the state championships? Let's find out. In the 3A boys, University taking on powerhouse Rainier Beach early on. Jared Miller for the hoop and the harm. Titans by 3 at that point. On the other end, though, it's Enrio Adams with the baseline jumper. Vikings up by 3. Nice feathery touch there. Zach Martin, though, on the other end for U-High. The answer on a tip-in. That ties the ball game up. U-High very much in this one against a state powerhouse team. Brett Bailey, a layup. It was an 8-point lead at the half, but Rainier Beach at last point now leading 47-42 heading into the fourth quarter. We'll have your final tonight at 6.
All right, the Central Valley girls looking to ride Brooke Galloway and freshman sensation Madison Hovren all the way to the state 4A title game. Could they get the job done today? Well, semifinal game against Mount Rainier. First half action of this one, CV down 5. Mariah Cunningham scores off the inbounds pass. Bears within 3. Later in the half, CV down 1. Brittany McPhee, the jumper there. Mount Rainier, the Rams take the 3-point lead. Same half, this time Chantel Fitting gets in the action with a 3-ball, CV within 2 points. Jordan McPhee, though, this time on the break. We are tied at 32 in the fourth quarter, but CV punches their ticket to the state title game by a final score of 42-40. Congrats to the Bears. All right, right now in progress, Gonzaga Prep taking on Skyview, and on the 3A side, University playing Prairie tonight at 9 p.m. Of course, we'll have highlights of both of those games later on tonight.
All right, meanwhile, in the state of Idaho, the Inland Empire League looking to make some big-time noise in Nampa in the state 5A and 4A tourneys. We had a dramatic finish last night in Nampa. Allen Post Falls, the opening round of the 5As. Last year's runner-up Centennial had a chance to put the game away on free throws, but they missed on the front end of a 1-and-1. And here is Marcus Colbert taking it the length of the floor for the game winner. Trojans advancing with a dramatic 56-55 win. All right, so the Trojans play the defending state champs, Mountain View. That is in the state semis tonight at 7. And in the 4A bracket, Moscow also advancing to the semis. The Bears will play Rigby tonight.
And Coeur d'Alene is now out of the state tournament. Highland made a comeback in the second half thanks to Cole Ashby, who scored 17 points in the third quarter. Highland also made 16 of 17 of its free throws in the fourth. The Rams beat Coeur d'Alene 69-60. Highland will play for the fourth place game tomorrow against the winner of the Eagle Centennial game.
Oh, by the way, more basketball going on in Sin City in Las Vegas. West Coast Conference Tournament going on as we speak. Matt Rogers has been following the Zags every step of the way as they get ready for tomorrow's semifinals. Here is Matt Rogers.
Well, the Gonzaga women actually in a practice right now at the Tarkanian Basketball Academy. It's just about 3 miles from the Orleans Arena. They're getting set to take on their semifinal opponent, which will be the St. Mary's Gales, who knocked off Pepperdine earlier today, 67-63. So it'll be the Gales and the Zags tomorrow at noon in the semifinal matchup. Now, we're covering this practice. We'll bring you video of that coming up in sports tonight at 6 o'clock. And you'll also hear from head coach Kelly Graves and his thoughts on taking on the Gales for the 3rd time this season. In Las Vegas, Matt Rogers, SWX Sports.
All right, Matt, thank you. Whitworth, how about the Pirates? They advance out of round 1 of the D3 tournament today in Texas. They beat McMurray 90-79. They advance to tomorrow's round 2.
All right, we hate to leave you tonight with some bad news, but more bad news for Washington State's football team. Sakopi Kafusi has been kicked off the team. Pullman police arrested him earlier this week for possession of marijuana. Kafusi is the 2nd Cougar player to be kicked off the team in the last month. CJ Mizell was kicked off the team after getting arrested for fighting outside a fraternity house.
All right, 2 more semifinal games going on as we speak. They're about ready to tip off. We'll have the latest on those games in 1 hour. We'll see you then.